Good morning, everyone. Lots of problems today. This is what happens when you have to change things around. Um, yeah, so good morning. Okay, we are live. Although I think, all right, just making sure I have a good connection, guys. So, good morning. I didn't sleep very well. No nightmares, huh? So good for me. All right, before we get started today, I wanted to talk a little bit about stigma. Um, you know, Good morning, Jill. Good to see you. Hey guys, if you're on here, please say hello. Let me know you're here, whether you're watching the original or the rewatch. So my animals are not used to me being down here either, so I got a cat circling my legs. But what you see behind me is kind of part of the new changes coming. Although that is all going to change by the end of the day. Is not going to look like that. I have a green screen coming in. That's actually our practice spot. So those are my drums. Um, Yay. So, um, yeah, got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of stuff that goes into all of this. So I gotta work. I gotta figure out how lighting works today. So fun stuff. All right, stigma. Um, I'm just like everybody else. Stigma. It used to drive me crazy. Anymore, um, stigma sucks, but it's something that we have to deal with. And because when it really comes down to it, trying to change stigma is like trying to change other people. It's not going to happen. It is an uphill battle, which is unfortunate. So what can we do about it? That's the thing is no stigma, no stigma. But what are we actually going to do about it? Well, you're going to get stigma from one of two places, from either somebody that just hates other people and that's the way they are, or somebody that just plain doesn't know and is speaking out of the side of their head to be cool to other people or blah, blah, blah. They're just not educated on the subject. And that's actually where prevention comes in. Prevention is about educating people that not aware of how this addiction works or anything else. So, yeah, it isn't that I don't like stigma, but gosh, let's pick our battles, guys. So the stigma is not going to end, okay? Unless every single person on the earth can think exactly alike. And that's just not going to happen, okay? So how do we work towards that still? We can do some prevention things, right? Still going to have people that do it. Just let them go on with their anger. Who cares? You know, um, I know the new thing out, SUD, substance use disorder. I brought this up before. You say it just confuses the client. Client feels stupid. Now you've got a little bit of a problem on your hands, okay? Because you've just taken yourself and you've put yourself way too far above your client. That's not going to work. They're not going to feel very comfortable with you telling them that they're stupid. Okay, so we got to be careful with this. And I've been through it. I've been through it so much that it was part of a court case. My alcoholism was part of a court case. Worked for a company. We were suing another company. We were suing electronic payment systems. I'll say their name. I don't mind. You can look it up. Okay? They were ripping people off. Okay, credit card processor. I did fraud for a long time. Okay, I'm very good at fraud because I'm a bullshitter. Okay, so they were ripping people off. We took them to court for stealing our system. Okay, and they lost. But during my portion, Spent 2 years on that case. Spending a month down in federal court. That's how I know about contracts. Um, I'm an independent contractor. It says in there, if you leave, you can't work for a year, and that's just not true. Anyway, so put me on the stand. I had set up for all this, and all they did was ask me about my drunk. Were you drunk at work? Were you drunk at work? I had a stand fast rule. I didn't drink at work. I was never drunk at work. Very hungover. Still drunk from the night before, yes, but I was never drunk at work. So, but that made me feel about 2 feet tall, which was the whole purpose of it. The difference is now I stand on my own 2 feet. Okay, and my story doesn't necessarily define me. It made me who I am, and I like who I am today, and other people like who I am today. So that's the secret behind Stigma. Become an example so that when it does come up, when you say something, it's going to matter. It'll matter. And people will not mess with you on it. Okay? I was wondering if Your Life Matters was going to cause some stuff. No. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. And it's actually meant to stir the pot a little bit, guys. I was doing that intentionally. Just because I wanted to get people thinking. Didn't work. People are getting it right off the bat. It's awesome. We are told in the program that no situation is hopeless. At first, of course, we find this hard to believe. The opposites, hope and despair, are human emotional attitudes. It is we who are hopeless, not the condition of our lives. When we give up hope and become depressed, it is because we're unable, for now, to believe in a possibility of change for the better. Can I accept this? Not everything that face can be... Okay. See, I told you I have to work on lighting. I have no lighting. So, there we go. Not everything that is faced can be changed. But nothing can be changed until it is faced. Okay? I don't know. That kind of goes with the stigmata thing too. Yeah, but what we're looking at here is the hopeless portion of it. I was reading. I was going through Facebook earlier, and I'm on this referral page for addiction. This lady said, "Okay, I've got a blah blah female for treatment. She's also very knowledgeable about all of this. And this is a list of the things that, and she's duly diagnosed, and this is the list of the things that she wants. Okay. And everybody's given their suggestions, which is what we do. Okay, a lot of times people in these addiction groups aren't in the program, so they don't always understand. That's what I call a list of demands. And it ain't going to happen. Not going to happen. And tell you something. You can get sober despite of anything. I've seen it happen time and time and time and time and time again. I've seen it happen time and time again. Now, I am a big proponent of not necessarily just recovery first, but housing first. Okay. That's one proponent I don't think anybody should have to face. Should have to. People still do. I know people living on the street right now in this shit sober. Okay? And not anything I can do about it. I wish there was. Actually, there are people doing things about it. Thank you, Travis Singhouse. You're awesome, dude. So I was thinking that since we were talking about hopeless, so we could read page 21. But what about the real alcoholic? He may start off as a moderate drinker. He may or may not become a continuous hard drinker. But at some stage of his drinking career, he begins to lose all control of his liquor consumption once he starts to drink. So they were just currently, right before this, they were talking about the different types of drinkers. Your moderate drinker, your kind of hard drinker. I guess I should have turned off my lights. I got my So what they're saying is, okay, so alcoholism and addiction can be a progressive disease. Okay. That means what happens is you build up a tolerance over time. So once you build up a tolerance to alcohol, then you need more. Okay. Your body, your body can get to a place where if it doesn't have alcohol in it, it will shut down. Okay. And I know that because I was there. That's why I can sit here and say no situation is hopeless. Right? I don't have pictures from that. There's no way I was letting people take pictures of me. Okay, but I wasn't this color. I was yellow. My eyes were yellow. I was shaking. It took me 3 months to learn how to talk again. Okay, none of this is a joke. This is all the stuff that happened. I've actually had to relearn how to talk 4 times in my life. I know. Weird. Anyway, it's probably why I'm very good at speaking. I've had to learn. I had to sit down and intentionally talk. Okay. Anyway, so here's a fellow who's puzzling you, especially in his lack of control. He does absurd, incredible, tragic things while drinking. He's a real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Some of you may be too young for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Go read it. Okay. Go read the short story. All right. He is so mightily intoxicated. He is always more or less insanely drunk. His disposition while drinking resembles his normal nature but little. He may be one of the finest fellows in the world, yet let him drink for a day and he frequently becomes disgustingly and even dangerously antisocial. He has a positive genius for getting tight at exactly the wrong moment, particularly when some important decision must be made or an engagement kept. He is often perfectly sensible and well-balanced concerning everything except liquor. The problem is by the time we get to this point, it's only about the alcohol. It's only about the drugs. There is nothing else in our lives. But in that respect, he is incredibly dishonest and selfish. He often possesses special abilities, skills, and aptitudes and has a promising career ahead of him. He uses his gifts to build up a bright outlook for his family and himself and then pulls the structure down on his head by a senseless series of sprees. Got a lot of S's there. He's a fellow who goes to bed so intoxicated he ought to sleep the clock around. Yet early the next morning, he searches madly for the bottle he misplaced the night before. I would never buy more alcohol than I knew I could consume. Okay? Because it was my challenge in life to stay awake as long as I could and be as drunk as possible. I know. No, those were goals in my life. Okay? So I didn't have alcohol when I woke up. So I was usually doing the drip from the bottles and stuff. Just remember that. If he can afford it, he may have liquor concealed all over his house. Nope. To be certain no one gets his entire supply away from him to throw down the waste pipe. Nobody ever threw my shit out. Mm-mm. No, they didn't want to deal with my anger. Okay. I have this very loud, angry voice. Okay. Told you guys I had to learn how to talk again. I had tired of people saying, well, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it because I'm a working. I did. I had to change that. Didn't do it to appease other people. I did it so that people found me more approachable. Okay. As matters grow worse, he begins to use a combination of high-powered sedative and liquor to quiet his nerves so he can get to work. I have found almost every alcoholic in a hopeless stage does this. Every single one of them. Then comes a day when he simply cannot make it, gets drunk all over again. Perhaps he goes to a doctor, gives him morphine or a sedative with the tape off. Then he begins to appear at hospitals and sanitariums. All right. Now, what they're actually giving him is dangerous, but what they give us nowadays can be even more dangerous. Okay. And anything really that they can give you for any of that is an opiate. And be very, very careful with opiates, okay? I would love to have an affair with Ativan, but it ain't going to happen, okay? So, and Ativan pops up in my life every now and again. I deal with anxiety, okay? I know. And if you want to have a conversation about it, give me a call. We'll talk about it. I'll let you know now my mom's okay with it. That's how I know I'm doing it right. If you met my mom, see, when it comes to that stuff, you got to be accountable. Last time I got Ativan, it was for 7 days. I took 3 days of it. I didn't need any more than that. I'm not saying I didn't want more than that. Okay. But which would you rather have? Okay. You've never seen me at my full blown, and you're not going to. It's not going to happen. My wife gets to see that. That's it. May I remember that because I am human and can make choices, I am never hopeless. Ever. You're never hopeless. Even when you're in the middle of an anxiety attack like I was just talking about, right? Kimberly, good to see you. Anne, good to see you. Danger, opiates and alcohol. That was, yeah. It can get very, very addictive. Okay. Yeah. Opiate. We'll have to sit down and talk about opiates. There's a difference between addiction when it comes to alcohol and drugs. There's a difference. So, but we're at the 17-minute mark, so we gotta finish up. May I remember that because I am human and can make choices, I'm never hopeless. Only the situation I find myself in may be hopeless, which may reduce me to a state of helpless depression. As I see my choices being blocked off, may I remember too that even when I see no solution, I can choose to ask for God's help. Today, I'll remember I can choose not to be hopeless. Okay. Now, in the beginning, I would ask God stuff and he would say no. Right. And he would give me the things that I needed, not the things I wanted, but the things that I needed, because I said that I was willing to go to any length and try a different way. And God heard me. He knew my intentions and he made me do that. Okay. Because I really, really wanted this. I did. And like Jill, I just didn't give up, man. When I get to something, I don't give up ever. Okay. I wanted to be able to walk up to my wife one day and have her say, "Now you're the person that I've been waiting for." And that happened. That was really nice. Okay. Takes a lot of hard work, and it's worth every step of it. The gifts that you get in every single thing that you do. Everything. Every time I turn around, God's like, "Oh, here, Dion. Oh, here, Dion. I'll get it." And sometimes it's hard because I don't always feel like I deserve it yet. There's that loving ourselves, guys. But that's just honesty. I don't always feel like I deserve everything I get because of all the fucked up shit I did before. But that's what keeps me humble. All right? But I also don't regret my past. Because it makes me who I am, and I like me today. None of that would have happened. I wouldn't be who I am. So, all right, guys, have a great day. We went way over. A lot of changes. Had some new podcasts come up. Not all of us took Labor Day off. I didn't know it was Labor Day, so I planned work. All right, guys. Peace out. Have a day. I love you. Bye. Thanks for being here, Jill. Love you guys.